Ooh. Oh man, this is cool because this is the first ever video HILF recording. So if you are listening to this as you always have on the audio only version, tough titties, some people can see me and they can see my face and my office and my interesting little camper figurine and guitars. It's all very exciting. If you too would like to see the video of this episode, well, you can. Head over to patreon.com/HILF podcast and you can see it all. I might even flash my tits if you are at a high enough tier. That's not true. There is no tier high enough. There ain't no tier high enough. In addition to it being the first video episode of HILF, it is also the first audience request show. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to save this for when you could see me, because I don't have a guest. It's just you and it's me and we're in my office. I'm drinking tea. Don't worry, it'll probably switch to whiskey at some point. I get to finally dig into the mailbag because from the very beginning, y'all have been sending me your HILF requests. Sometimes I ask, sometimes you just know that I would really like to know. And there are some just great ones. And so here's what I'm going to do. I've selected a few of my favorite requests, okay? And I HILF'd it. But these are going to be quickies, girl. You got to think about this like date night, but it's like married for a long time date night. Okay, so we're going to fuck for sure. But it might just be like super quick in the garage before we let the babysitter, you know what I mean? Or like, yeah, I'm just gonna give you like a hand job on the way home because we don't have time to do the whole fuck. I suspect you get it. Okay, our first HILF request comes from Sean Lynch. He writes to us via the HILF podcast Gmail. Dawn, would you please do the Emu Wars? It is a wild story that took place here in Australia, and a lot of people don't know about it, or they think it's a joke. But it's real, and it's hilarious. Thanks, and I really dig the podcast, Sean. Okay, it's so nice. Thanks, Sean. And Sean wasn't the only one. Friends, a few of you hipped me to the HILF of the Great Emu War. And oh my God, buckle up. The first place we have to start for the Great Emu Wars is with the emu itself. Because if you cannot visualize how fucking scary an emu is, how big it fucking is, then none of this makes sense. The emus are like 6 feet tall, 100 pounds, fast as fuck, long, strong legs, big ass claws, and dark, scary eyes like a shark. I've seen an emu. I didn't like it. Okay, I think it's cute. They have a cute one now on that commercial, the like emu or whatever. They make it. They even try to make it cute in that commercial, and I'm still like, yikes. So these emus, bless them, native to Australia, they have been living their lives, and they've been living their lives peacefully with humans for as long as humans have been on Australia until the fall of 1932. Because what happens is these migrating emus who have gotten used to going inland to lay their nests, then they walk back to the coast, then they go inland to breed, and this is their route. In the fall of 1932, they get halfway between these two spots and are like, this is great. Emu paradise, like, lays before them, okay? During the Great Depression, the Australian government was like, everybody, here's primo number one job, grow wheat. Wheat, everybody, as much as you can. And the farmers were like, Roger, man, they clear the land, all these amazing irrigation systems, ponds and lakes and all these natural fucking things. And the emus look at it and are like, no notes. And 20,000 of them move in. 20,000 emus. And they're tearing down fences and shitting and eating everything. And like vermin are coming in because they're getting in through the broken fences. And the farmers are like, oh my God. And they're not an easy, this is a big ass bird. You know what I mean? I can only imagine how much poop these emus make. Yuck. The Australian government is like, girl, don't panic. We know exactly what to do. You got a problem, and it's 6 feet tall and fast and fuck. You need machine guns. You need a bunch of soldiers. And so the Australian government sends both. They send 2 Lewis machine guns with over 10,000 rounds of ammunition and a bunch of unemployed World War I veterans to get down there and crack some emu skulls, right? And they go out there day one, and they're like, this is going to be so easy. I bet day one we get 100 of them. And they try their hardest. And they do all of their best army stuff with all the best army shit. And they come home with 12. So like, okay, we are going to try again tomorrow. Don't worry, we got this. We're going tomorrow. And I know we're going to get a ton more because we are like stalking them. And they're all going to gather down there by the water in a mob. A group of emus is called a mob. I like to imagine the emus are down there by the water just like smoking cigars and like, this is the kind of confrontation we've been anticipating. Anyway, they go down there and they come back with still less than 20 emus, man, because the mob splits. Emus running everywhere fast as fuck. The gun jams. God damn it. But like, God, we're so embarrassed. This is so much harder than we thought. Guys, 6 days later, they have spent 2,500 rounds of ammunition and they've got, quote, less than 50. Aww. It's so embarrassing. And they are like, it's not all our fault. The emus are fighting back. The soldiers recognize that among the emu mob, a leader is rising at various groups, and they can always tell the leader because they're taller than the other ones, and they have these big black plumes, and they're like warning the mob when to split and like leading them to sleep. I know. They even mount, oh guys, get this, they mount one of the machine guns on the back of a truck, right? And they start chasing after these emus. And it's like, yeah, maybe you can keep up with them. But once your car is going fast enough to keep up with an emu over this like Australian off-road country, right now you can't aim. Oh God. The good news is no soldiers were killed in the Great Emu War. And I'm not going to lie, I was shocked. I was like, really? All those guns and crazy? And no, okay, good. It was as funny to them then as it is now. In fact, there's a story of a journalist who, during an interview with the prime minister, is like, excuse me, will we be minting any coins or giving the soldiers any special medals? And he was like, shut the fuck up. These poor farmers, though, aren't laughing, right? I mean, this is a problem, man. They do ultimately find a solution, which is bounties, individual bounties on the emus, right? Make it worthwhile for one guy to go get one bird. That seemed to work. And then also better fencing. However, undoubtedly, when it comes to the Great Emu War of 1932, the emus definitely won. I know, right? Oh, Sean, thanks for that, man.